South Jersey Worldwide Marriage Encounter offers a marriage enrichment program to the parishes of the Diocese of Camden based on videos from marriage seminars conducted by Mark Gungor. Couples who have viewed the video present their reflections, and those attending the enrichment have an opportunity for personal and group reflections. This video shows parts of an enrichment held at St. Joseph's Parish in Somers Point.
Okay. There are times that I want to do something and Char looks at me like I'm crazy. That happens quite often. I couldn't see the issue because to me the next step is logical, or something else that needs to be done. Char had other ideas. We were both trying to get to point D, but my path was different from hers, and a common path was difficult to arrive at. I tend to see things in a logical way. For me to get from point A to point D, you have to go through B and C. I used to think that my wife had a different way of seeing things that I would never understand. I still think that. And I had no idea how she got from A to D. I also find that I don't need to understand, but embrace the fact that there are differences. It keeps the fire going. Just because I don't understand her thought process does not diminish its value. Now I see how she can take those shortcuts and how we were just on different paths, different places in our journey. Now I understand they were different. Neither was right. Oh, mine was more right. And neither was wrong. Mine was still more right. We were just in different places on our journey.
Like Paul, I have learned to embrace our differences instead of the differences causing chaos. There are times when I would be running around getting this and that ready for a special event wherein I'd have to have everything perfect. Paul, helping me, would hyper-focus on one area, an area that I didn't believe was as necessary, like, say, the grout on the kitchen floor on Christmas Eve. As Paul just mentioned, if we learn one thing from this video and this evening, it is to begin to open our minds to see our differences in a new light. They are still there, but they need to be seen in a negative. They do not need to be seen in a negative way. Stress in our daily lives seems to have made us become lazy with our relationships. If we begin to take just a few moments and reevaluate the small things before reacting to them and see them in a new light, just think of the changes and possibilities that can occur. Instead of coming home and reacting to our spouse in a recliner in his nothing box, we can stop and think how to proceed in getting him to help with the task at hand and totally circumvent what could have easily been a blow-up before. In doing this, we begin the process of appreciating each other, differences and all, and our relationship has the ability to grow. What we're going to do is we're going to ask each couple to sit with each other and discuss the following question, just for a few minutes, and see if you can start to communicate a little bit about what you just saw, okay? Here you go. Can you give examples from your own marriage that demonstrate the theory of boxes and wires? Just take a few minutes and talk between yourselves about it. See if you can't come up with something.
So beautiful. And I was with Father Mandel practice from each other. In your relationship. No, I went with my prayer group. Yeah, somebody else did. The old one. I was really going to go up there. It's not that great. We have 3 children. I remember when we got married. 30 years ago. So great.
Men believe doing a big thing deserves big points. Women don't see big in the same way. What is big to a man is not necessarily big to a woman. It is the little things in life, like acts of random kindness, that mean more to a woman. For example, like the dozen roses, if I were to get that from Tom, I'd be thrilled and overjoyed. He would score a point. However, if the rest of the day he were to act indifferent or ignore me, then the roses didn't mean anything. He would lose a point and one would cancel out the other.
The video gave many good suggestions on small things men can do to score points with their wives. Make the bed first thing in the morning, although it takes me more than the 120 seconds that Mark Unger suggests. I want the bed made correctly with hospital corners, and so tight you can bounce a quarter 2 feet off the bed. My rule of thumb was always, last one out of bed should make it, and I am the early bird. Doing dishes, putting dirty laundry in the hamper, folding laundry, picking up bread and milk on the way home from work, calling Jackie during the day to see how she is doing, or other ways of scoring points.
There are times in our marriage where I do not feel valued or important to Tom. I do not feel I'm first on his list sometimes. When the TV takes priority over me, I find I retreat into my own space and isolate myself from Tom. I don't like myself when I do this. I do this because I feel helpless. But when Tom does think of me, I feel so much better about myself and our relationship.
Preparing for this presentation has benefited us since, while watching the video and discussing it, we were able to talk about how I perceived Jackie not accepting my ideas and how Jackie did not realize that is why I would clam up and stop sharing dreams, thoughts, and ideas with her. As Mark said in the video, harsh criticism crushes most men's fragile egos. Out in public, men may think they have to be strong and act strong. Home is the only place where they can let their guards down.
Many of us are great talkers, but few of us are skilled at listening. Listening demonstrates love. In relationships, we want to be able to convey our doubts, fears, dreams, and passions. We want for these things to be embraced by those we share them with. We want to feel confident that we will be heard, not judged, blamed, or interrupted. Listening provides comfort, recognition, and understanding of our thoughts, feelings, and
It's great.
Right, like you care about each other, showing kindness.
I think it makes you feel like you understand each other more.
I like the word appreciate too.
What the other person feeling.
Key is, what do you do about that? In other words, how do you deal with the differences? And the bottom line is we've found over the years that the way you have to deal with this is to take a step back and realize, yes, we're different and we do different things, and there are things, I know you wouldn't believe this of Teresa, but there are things that she does that I'm not particularly happy with. I mean, harder to believe is that she would think there was something I would do.
Oh, say it isn't so.
It isn't.
That's too much information, John.
The thing that we have found is that what makes the difference is making a decision to love each other in spite of the differences, accepting that we're different, and being able to make that decision. And a lot of what we've learned over the years starts back when we made a marriage encounter weekend back in 1976.
not 1776.